Hello there, history enthusiasts and salad lovers alike. Welcome back to our channel where we unravel the most intriguing stories from the past. Today, we dive into the remarkable tale of a simple olive and its unexpected significance in the trajectory of a major airline company. Cast your minds back to the year 1987, a time when a single olive could change the course of history. Can you imagine an olive making such a difference? Well, buckle up for this incredible journey. Now let's dive into the depths of this unusual tale. Picture this: American Airlines, a major player in the aviation industry, in the year 1987. In the late 80s, the aviation industry was dealing with a turbulent financial climate. American Airlines, despite being a dominant force, was not immune to these struggles. The cost of operations was skyrocketing, and the airline was desperately looking for innovative ways to cut costs without compromising on the quality of service. Think about it, running an airline is an incredibly complex business. There are so many variables to consider: fuel costs, maintenance, staff wages, and let's not forget the cost of food served on board. Yes, even the tiny details like the meals served to passengers were under scrutiny. And it was within this context that the airline's management started to think outside the box. They began to question everything, no matter how trivial it seemed. They scrutinized every aspect of their operations, from the weight of the aircraft to the ingredients in the meals served on board. In the midst of these discussions, one seemingly innocuous item stood out: the humble olive. A staple in the salad served on board, the olive became the center of attention. It was a small part of the passenger's meal, but with thousands of flights each day, the costs were adding up. And then, a light bulb moment. Someone said, "What about those olives?" Who would have thought that a tiny, round, green fruit could save a company thousands of dollars? Yes, you heard it right, folks. Now let's delve into the details of how this unsuspecting olive found itself at the center of a cost-cutting strategy. American Airlines, amidst the financial turbulence of the 1980s, decided to make some changes to their in-flight meals. No, they didn't decide to switch to cheaper ingredients or reduce the portion sizes. Instead, they turned their gaze to the humble olive. The executives sat around scratching their heads, wondering how to cut costs, when suddenly, one of them had a brainwave. What if we remove just one olive from each salad? There was a moment of silence as the idea sunk in. Then, laughter filled the room. The idea seemed ludicrous. An olive, after all, is so small and its cost negligible. How much of a difference could removing one olive make? But then they did the math. The airline was serving millions of meals each year, and every one of those meals had a salad, and every one of those salads had an olive. The math was simple, but the result was astounding. And so, the olive was axed from the salad, but what happened next? As the olive was given its marching orders from the salad, the accountants held their breath. Would this really work? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the suspense didn't last long. As the days and flights went by, the accountants began to notice a trend that had them rubbing their eyes in disbelief. The balance sheets were starting to look a lot healthier, and all thanks to our unsung hero, the olive. Now, you might wonder, how much difference can one olive make? It's just a tiny little fruit after all. But let's consider the scale we're talking about. American Airlines in the late 80s was a mammoth operation, serving countless passengers daily. So, take one olive from each passenger's salad, multiply it by the number of passengers, and then by the number of flights. It's a bit of a head spinner, isn't it? The result was staggering. The humble olive, once a staple of the in-flight salad, had, in its absence, saved the company a whopping $40,000. Yes, you heard it right, $40,000. Just by rolling out of the salad bowl. The decision to let go of the olive was nothing short of a stroke of genius. It was a lesson in efficiency, a demonstration of the power of small changes, a testament to the idea that every little bit counts. It was a move that not only saved money but also sparked a wave of similar cost-cutting measures across the industry. And so, a tiny decision had a giant impact. It showed that sometimes it's the smallest changes that make the biggest difference. It proved that every olive matters, every dollar counts, and every decision, no matter how small, can have unforeseen and significant consequences. And there you have it, folks, a tiny olive rolling out of the salad and into the annals of corporate history. So, what's the takeaway from this olive odyssey, besides a slightly less garnished salad? Well, it's a lesson about the power of innovative thinking and an eye for detail in business. It might seem trivial, but the removal of a single olive from each passenger's salad had a ripple effect that saved American Airlines $40,000 in 1987. That's not small change, especially when you consider the financial strains airlines often face. This olive escapade also sparked a revolution in the airline industry, prompting companies to scrutinize every aspect of their operations for potential savings. Everything from the weight of the in-flight magazines to the amount of fuel needed for each flight became subject to cost-saving measures. In an industry where profit margins can be as thin as the paper your ticket is printed on, every little bit counts. But perhaps the most significant impact of this olive incident is the paradigm shift it caused. It underscored the importance of looking at the bigger picture, of understanding how seemingly insignificant details can add up to make a substantial difference. It's a lesson that extends far beyond the airline industry into every facet of business and life. So next time you munch on your salad, spare a thought for the humble olive and its momentous journey. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to our channel for more fascinating tales. Until next time, keep exploring history with a side of humor.